This award of National Black Caucus of States of U.S. Congress.
Parliament constitutes committee to resolve impasse between members from both sides over approval of 2022 budget.
Noguchi confirmed 34 Omicron COVID-19 cases in Ghana.
And Gambians go to the polls on Saturday, December 4.
Welcome to News Hour, live on GBC News, your news and governance channel. We are also live on GTV. We are also live streaming on Facebook and YouTube at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Micheline Taka.
And mine is Clara Lano Jonathan in Tim Darpoints. I sign up for this evening. Good evening.
The National Black Caucus of State Legislators of the U.S. Congress has presented Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo with the first ever International National Builders Awards of the National Black Caucus of State Legislators.
The first international Nation Builders
The Nation Builders Award was established to recognize African Americans who have distinguished themselves to lifelong service and dedication to enfranchisement and inclusion of Americans of African descent into the national body of politics. At the award ceremony of the 45th Annual National Black Caucus of State Legislators in Atlanta, Congressman Billy Mitchell explained the Nation Build Award ceremony was renamed in 1995 to honor the late David P. Richardson, a member of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives for 23 years and NBCSL's third president. He said they are awarding President Akufo-Addo for his commitment to working collaboratively to achieve the liberation of African people. He called for effective collaboration between Africans and the diaspora.
The people of America, teaming with the motherland, Africa, will create new wealth, new opportunities for our generation and generations beyond. I want you to come, sir, as we reach out to you, knowing that the competency, knowing that the confidence that we have in you and for you is such that we know we cannot fail at this mission.
President Akufo-Addo was grateful for the award. He said Ghana is creating a platform for adoption of legal frameworks in key sectors to drive diaspora engagements, and this has culminated in the Homeland Return Bill on which Ghana is currently working.
The Homeland Return Bill recognizes Ghana's moral and spiritual obligation as an African nation to facilitate the return of diaspora Africans to Ghana and the motherland, and to initiate the legal and regulatory processes for integrating them into Ghanaian society. When enacted, the law will provide the much-needed regulatory and practical changes to improve the requirements for the acquisition of Ghanaian citizenship and permanent residence by diasporan Africans. All of us gathered here should never forget the famous admonition of the iconic Jamaican reggae star Peter Tosh, when he said, and I quote, "Don't care where you come from. As long as you're a black man, you're an African."
President Akufo-Addo said the entire continent sees those in the diaspora as brothers and they must try and reconnect to the continent.
President Akufo-Addo is selling the Ghanaian story to members of the black business community in the United States. At the podium, the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, gave details on the numerous investment opportunities that exist in Ghana as the country seeks to build back strongly from the ravages of COVID-19.
Wooing investors into the country remains high on the president's agenda. In his keynote address at the Africa Flagship Program session of the 45th Annual Legislative Conference of the National Black Caucus of State Legislators in Atlanta, Georgia, President Akufo-Addo said, quote, "It is a great time to invest in Ghana, for the opportunities are bright." He says, despite the very real difficulties posed by COVID-19, Ghana has measures in place which are yielding results and sending the right signals to the global investor community.
We're focusing our energies on supporting commercial farming and attracting educated youth into agriculture, building Ghana's light manufacturing sector, fast-tracking efforts at digitization, developing Ghana's housing and construction industry, establishing Ghana as a regional hub, and strengthening the enablers of growth of our economy. Investors are optimistic about the Ghanaian economy. We've done the heavy lifting required to transition our economy into a growth economy and are establishing sustainability and irreversibility.
President Akufo-Addo reassured investors that Ghana remains the safest country in West Africa.
It does look like, despite the very real difficulties posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, we in Ghana are doing some things right and sending out the right signals. Last year, 2020, Ghana recorded foreign direct investment of some 2.65 billion United States dollars from 279 projects. For 2021 alone, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center recorded the foreign direct investment of 973 million United States dollars from 173 projects.
Nana Akufo-Addo said Ghana is at the forefront of regional integration and cooperation in industrializing Africa, and the hosting of the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area makes Ghana the best investment destination in West Africa.
A 10-member committee from the majority and minority in Parliament is being constituted to resolve disagreements over the 2022 budget. The committee is also expected to investigate the disagreement that happened in Parliament on Wednesday, December 1, 2021. Leadership from both sides have been engaging in series of meetings since Tuesday following the minority's request that a motion be adopted to set aside the approval of the policy document by the First Deputy Speaker. The minority, led by its leader, Mr. Haruna Idrisu, also wants a revised budget which would not include the e-levy and Ijapa. They are proposing a reduction of the electronic transaction from 1.75% to 1% or less. The government is engaging leadership of the two sides of Parliament to resolve the impasse. Sitting began on Wednesday and was adjourned by the Second Deputy Speaker, Mr. Andrew Amakwesiama, on Thursday to enable members to travel to their constituencies for the Father's Day celebrations on Friday. GBC News has been sampling views from the public to the passage of the 2022 budget, whilst others urge Parliament to resolve their differences over other called for a total review of the budget.
I think the sitting government should be considerate, looking at how the country is moving now. Everybody is complaining, there is no money in the system and all that.
Things are not going well. The economy is very, very bad, and with the budget and tax that we are about to pay, especially the e-levy, I would say it's a killer tax.
The parliamentarians, their conduct was totally immature, and he wasn't a good message to the citizens, and he was totally unacceptable by the parliamentarians. Persons of high dignitaries like that showing immaturity in their place of profession.
It's a lot of brouhaha going on in Parliament, but I think they should be able to reach an understanding eventually. So we are just watching, you know. because we can't really do much about the results. So we are more or less like spectators. I think I'm enjoying this whole thing. We are no longer being ruled by people because they are the majority, but we have other people coming and telling them this is not supposed to.
The National Media Commission has expressed concern about a recent broadcast in which the host of Onya TV and Onya FM, Mr. Blessed God's Brain Smart, popularly known as Captain Smart, is said to have called for insurrection against the state of Ghana and its institutions. The NMC says the broadcast raises concern for the peace and security of the country in a manner that demands immediate regulatory action. In a letter signed by its Executive Secretary, Mr. George Sapon, the Media Commission cautions the management of Onya TV and Onya FM that it would be in the station's own interest if it took steps to bring such content onto a level of professional acceptability. Meanwhile, the Nima Divisional Police Command has arrested Captain Smart, according to a statement from the command. The statement says he was arrested following some unsavory pronouncements that he made which border on peace and security. Researchers at a two-day West Africa Wetlands Conference in Accra are advocating for the reintroduction and enforcement of local regulations to save wetlands in Ghana. As of now, Ghana is on the verge of losing all of her 5 wetlands, including that of the Sakumo, which is said to be in its worst form and no longer serving its purpose. The two-day conference ended on Thursday at the University of Ghana. Residents of the Ketu South municipality are still reeling from the devastating effects of the recent tidal waves. The disaster is said to be one of the effects of damages caused to the Ketu Lagoon, which is also a wetland. Such is the case of the other 4 wetlands in Ghana, Fedensu, Songo, Munipomadze and the Sakumo Ramsar site dotted across the country. Conflicting interests, pollution, encroachment, cattle grazing, industrialization, population growth and lack of enforcement have defeated the purpose of these important areas. According to research conducted between 1980 and 2006, the world's mangrove vegetation has been depleted from 1.81 kilometers square to 1.37 kilometers square due to human activities on wetlands.
The wetlands act as a sponge when it rains heavily to absorb the water and then release it gradually for groundwater recharge. This will be lost, which means there will be more flooding, and these events, because of the changing climate, can only worsen.
The problem is not peculiar to Ghana. Most wetlands in West Africa are also under threats, and stakeholders are worried about what this portends for the sub-region.
Time to act is now. Otherwise, the ability of our wetlands to provide us with the needed ecosystem services will be reduced to nothing. This has negative implications on the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals.
With the world racing to keep temperatures at 1.5 degrees Celsius, it is believed effective collaboration will help check the trouble.
That is why I think we should head towards people restoring their own ecosystem, Ghanaians protecting their own natural resources.
Scientists and environmentalists saw the challenge man could face with the loss of the world's biodiversity and ecosystems, and therefore designated certain areas as buffer zones known as wetlands. Ramsar sites, one of the most threatened habitats today, serve as shields against storms and floods. They are also natural harvesters of rainwater, check on erosion, and serve as habitats for migratory birds.
The Center for Plant Medicine Research at Ekuapem Mampong in the Eastern Region is calling on individuals and organizations to invest in the activities of the center. The scientists believe the facility is capable of contributing significantly to Ghana's healthcare as well as global medicinal trade. From studies, the global market value of medicinal plant products exceeds $100 billion per year, and according to the experts, Ghana is yet to benefit from the trade. This came up at a scientific seminar as part of the 45th anniversary celebration of the Center for Plant Medicine Research at Ekuapem Mampong in the Eastern Region. Gifty Ajay reporting.
The scientific seminar, experts from the Center for Plant Medicine Research at Ekuapem Mampong were at the podium to share with academia their current research project on plant medicines. Their studies researched into the cure for diseases like malaria, hypertension, diabetes, stomach ulcers, among others. Another study which looked at the norms and intentions of nurses towards the clinical use of herbal medicine in Ghana sought to have insight into how nurses perceived herbal treatment for patients who opted for them. Findings from the scientific project included the fact that practitioners in the herbal medicine care are aging and the youth are not showing interest in that aspect of health care. In the management of hypertension and diabetes, 4 new plant species were for the first time identified to be potent against the disease. The reaction on how patients on orthodox medication and herbal medicine use, as well as drug efficacy and toxicity, were also discussed. Some of the researchers spoke to GBC News after the seminar.
In order to eliminate issues of toxicity or inefficacy of our product, we produce or we establish standards for drugs. Then when we produce them, we now test them again to see if they conform to the standards.
Right now, all I am doing is documenting the knowledge the plants use for them. But I am doing it bit by bit. Malaria, I've done diabetes and hypertension. The next will be skin diseases, which is next to come. But I'm one person, and even the guts to go around and do this is not easy.
The executive director of the Center for Plant Medicine Research, Dr. Bobby Berima, was optimistic that, given the right amount of funding, the center will deliver.
We need funding, massive funding. We have to modernize our equipment and the laboratories.
For Professor Regina Piaupon, immediate funding of the Center for Plant Medicine Research is certainly the way to go. Reporting for GBC News, Gifty Ajay, Accra.
Ghana is on course towards a comprehensive and universal social protection program to protect and accelerate sustainable development. At the 2021 University of Ghana Alumni Lecture, the Chief of Staff, Madam Akusia Frema Oseo Paris, said this would guarantee that as much as possible, all, irrespective of age, gender, ethnicity, geographical location, education, disability, and status in society, live dignified lives.
The 2021 University of Ghana Alumni Lecture at the University of Ghana had the theme, Social Protection in Ghana. Are we on track? The endemic nature of poverty and other forms of socio-economic vulnerabilities remains of concern to many countries. Ghana has equally had her fair share of poverty syndrome, resulting in the mainstreaming of numerous social protection initiatives towards salvaging the challenges posed by poverty. The 2021 Alumni Lecture sought to find answers to Ghana's social protection challenges and whether the country is on track with their social protection programs. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nanaba Ampia Amfo, said effective social protection programs will cater for the needs of the disadvantaged in society.
While applauding the government for initiating and in some cases sustaining already existing programs, I believe there is a need for a critical assessment to examine challenges confronting these schemes and find ways of improving them to make them more meaningful and beneficial to the target groups.
The Chief of Staff, Madame Akosua Fremont-Pare, said the government has initiated livelihood programs that are more sustainable towards economic growth and inclusive national development.
The chronology of the flagship programs that I have mentioned today indicates that Ghana is steadily working towards a comprehensive and universal social protection programming, which is a requisite safeguard and a pedal to accelerate sustainable development.
She called on the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection to convene a national social protection dialogue to ensure sustainable financing mechanisms of Ghana's social protection agenda.
As a nation, we need a platform to engage and deepen our understanding, as well as appreciation of the linkages between social protection measures, maintaining peace and security, and economic growth.
Madame Akosua Fremont-Pare said the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty LEAP, one of Ghana's social protection programs, will be expanded to bring the total number of beneficiaries to almost 500,000.
The Asantehene Otumfuo has encouraged the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, to launch an investigation into the proliferation of arms in the country. The Asantehene believes this will help minimize the spate of violent crimes, including armed robbery, in the country. The IGP called on him, as tradition demands, to announce the start of his official tour of the region.
This was Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare's first official visit to the Menchia Palace since assuming office as Inspector General of Police. The Asantehene Otumfuo urged the IGP to work hand in hand with the various personnel within the security apparatus, as well as persons who can volunteer information to ensure sustained peace in the country. He commended the police boss for his hard work since he took office as IGP.
Ethiopia aba man mu aye ni ho krata enso aba man mu eno nam nipa ne bitimi de kodi bone kokoro no eye de na sa tue ba ya so bi na wo man mu no wo bobi amompe no na ha ye di trabonten so na ba ya enam port ana sa enam border ana sa hnefa ma na de aye na dwuma wa to bi egu a on de ode man krofo kobokoro no edi enti na krofo ebi gu ba bi na wo bi hunu na so ye ntimi nka wo mu ne ye nete. The
IGP assured the Asantehene that his administration is poised to work assiduously to protect the people and safeguard the peace in the country.
Nana, and you whom baby so on my home is I enter a two scene. And to the no ye, baby on two scenes, so what Daruma wanted to a pat empty, you whom ye Danny moon, said no to be a year. Now say ye near the candy near ye, and then now become boom, as I said, you knew my yakassin.
The IGP was accompanied by some other top police officers, including COP Nathan Kofi Boachi and COP Ken Yeboah.
The New Times Corporation, in partnership with the National Road Safety Authority and the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service, have launched a road safety campaign in Ghana. The campaign is a joint effort to fight road traffic crashes and casualties in the country.
Road accidents is among the top 10 causes of deaths in the country and remain a major public health challenge. It is to contribute to efforts to fight the menace that the New Times Corporation is partnering with the National Road Safety Authority and the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service. The Managing Director of the New Times Corporation, Mr. Martin Leduzu, was hopeful that a new bond would deepen as they continue to dialogue on issues of road safety.
As a state-owned media organization with a mandate to inform and educate the public, we firmly believe that we have the moral responsibility to support and intensify the fight against road indiscipline and bring down significantly, if not stop, the number of unwarranted deaths on our roads.
The Greater Accra Commanding Officer of the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, DCOP Martin Ayi, said persons who flout road safety regulations will be prosecuted. Madam May Obri-Yeboah is the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority.
We have always said that road safety is a collective and shared responsibility, and the National Road Safety Authority cannot do it alone. We need stakeholders to come together so that we can all fight this canker on our roads.
The launch was on the theme, Road Safety in Ghana, Preserving Lives, Sustaining Our Nation.
You're watching News Hour live on GTV and GVC News. There's more news ahead after this break.
Welcome to Business, brought to you by MTN and Whirlpool. My name is Maurice Ogbete. The Ghana Enterprise Agency is to disburse the second tranche of the COVID-19 response grant in Accra. More than 100 beneficiaries who qualified out of the 21,000 applicants who receive 8 million Ghana cedis in all.
The total grant, which is 145 million cedis, is under the Ghana Economic Transformation Project, with focus on agro-processing, manufacturing, textiles and garments, food and beverages, pharmaceuticals and PPE producing companies. The grant, unlike the Coronavirus Alleviation Program Business Support Scheme, CABAS, which focused on micro, small and medium-scale enterprises, MSMEs, is solely for SMEs that have been impacted negatively by the pandemic. High on the condition of the grant is to ensure that beneficiaries employ more people to deal with the unemployment in the country. They would be monitored and audited to ensure that the funds are properly used. The grant is expected to support activities such as the purchase of raw materials, equipment purchases, and not to pay salaries. At the signing ceremony of the grant agreement with the beneficiaries, the team leader of the One District, One Factory project at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Mr. Kofi Addo, encouraged beneficiaries to be responsible with the funds.
Let's make sure that the money that comes in the form of a grant, in the form of a subsidy, in the form of anything, let it be able to account for every person.
The Chief Executive, Ghana Enterprises Agency, Mrs. Kosiyanki Aye, said given the rigorous nature of the selection process, the private sector must lead in job creation.
As much as possible, we'll say to them, be very disciplined. Use the funds for what you're supposed to be used for, and use it to grow and build your business, because there's more where it came from. So what we'll do is that we'll do an assessment, and those who have done well, that we see have been able to move their businesses to the next level that can accelerate, we'll continue to provide support to them.
Depending on the activity of the business, beneficiaries would receive a minimum of 10,000 Ghana cedis and a maximum of 200,000 Ghana cedis.
Also in business, the Public Procurement Authority is seeking to shorten the long bureaucratic process of tendering and gradually eliminate all manual processes in the tendering process. Members of the authority's National Steering Committee have thus gone through practical training on the use of the Ghana Electronic Procurement System.
The Ghana Electronic Procurement System, GANEPS, is a web-based and collaborative system developed in accordance with the requirements of public procurement laws. The system helps in facilitating public procurement processes in Ghana and offers a secure, interactive and a dynamic environment for carrying out procurement of all categories, complexity or value. GANEPS supports processes of procuring goods, works, consultancy, non-consultancy and disposal of assets, among other procedures. To make the system implementation more effective, the PPA has offered a practical training for its National Steering Committee members. They were taken through the process of opening bids, tender coordination, opening and evaluation panel. The country manager, Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, Madame Stella Addo, mentioned some challenges associated with the manual process.
Previously, participating in a tender in Ho or Kumasi, you had to go all the way to Ho or Kumasi to go and buy the tender document and then also make your submission. Now, GANEPS makes it easy. At one spot, wherever you are sitting, so far as you have electronic system and be able to get an internet or something to connect, you are able to sit at that spot and assess as a supplier.
The Deputy Chief Executive and leader of the GANEPS implementation team, Mr. Kwame Pepe, said the system has undergone security and performance testing to ensure safety.
In terms of security, I mean, the system has gone through all testing, including security and performance testing. Right, so it's quite assured that it is safe. Right, but there's also a backup to the primary system. So if anything at all was to happen to the primary system, automatically, the system falls over to the primary system, and then the backup will then be,
GANEPS will also help in addressing issues related to corruption.
There's still business live on GBC News. Now, Ghana's transit trade is estimated to generate $34 million annually. Speaking at a forum on transit trade at Bolgatanga, the chief executive of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Ms. Bismarck Benoni, said that trade had become a significant component of the country's economy.
The Transit Trade Seminar was to deliberate on how to make the country's transit corridor the preferred path and also facilitate the growth of transit trade in the interest of national development. It was also to address concerns relating to the conduct of the Motor Traffic and Transport Department (MTTD) officers deployed along the corridor. The Ashanti Regional Manager of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Mr. Isaac Tessia Akwe, spoke of the benefits Ghana is making through transit trade.
Along Ghana's major corridors and quarterly fact-finding trips have revealed several road governance challenges involving transit track that key state actors such as the police MTTD, customs of the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Highway Authority.
The Deputy Upper East Regional Police Commander, DCOP Alexander Amenyo, spoke of steps the police are taking to ensure sanity on the country's transit corridors.
There should be certain things which can make the police, the policemen, the patrolmen, throughout this route up to Techima, even to Tema. Yes, we resolve that. They must have something to get the transit vehicle easily identified. That one couldn't manifest.
The Ghana Shippers Authority said an intense collaboration with the police in facilitating transit trade along the country's road corridors was crucial to ensure the safety of truck drivers and transit cargoes.
We go to the interbank forex market where the cedi is trading at 5 cedis 91 pesos to the dollar. The pound sterling is going for 7 cedis 88 pesos and the euro at 6 cedis 71 pesos. We also bring you updates on latest prices of major commodities on the international market. Stay with us.
You are live on News Hour. Welcome to the energy segment. I'm Dominic Honoji. Nuclear Power Ghana (NPG) has urged local industries to position themselves to take advantage of the construction of the planned nuclear power plant in Ghana to accelerate industrialization. NPG said materials required for the construction of a typical large nuclear power plant, which includes construction works, electrical, mechanical, and control systems, can be sourced internally.
Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA) is guiding Ghana on its efforts at establishing a nuclear power plant. Phase 1 of the three-phase program has been completed. Phase 2 activities are underway. The capital-intensive plant will require a number of materials. This nuclear power, Ghana said, are readily available in the country, and local industries must be prepared to supply when construction of the plant commences. Speaking at a workshop for selected journalists on Ghana's steps into nuclear future in Accra, Executive Director of Nuclear Power Ghana, Dr. Stephen Yamwa, said the Association of Ghana Industries are being engaged to ensure that standards are followed when asked to supply materials for the project.
We believe our local industries can participate and take advantage of. In terms of the cement requirement, in terms of steel requirement, cables, it's a whole lot, about 30 or 40% of the cost of the plant is in the civil work aspect of it. So these are areas that our local industries can take advantage of, and we've been engaging them. We're working with AGI in terms of areas that they can participate in. But then the point is this, so the opportunity is there, but it comes with certain requirements and standards. So we need to make them aware so that they prepare themselves ahead of time to be able to take advantage of the opportunities.
Ghana's overall hydro, thermal and solar generation was 62.8334 gigawatt hours in the last 24 hours. Benin, Togo, Burkina Faso received 5.3729 gigawatt hours of power from Ghana in the last 24 hours. Here are some more details.
For hydro energy generated in the past 24 hours, Akosombo recorded 17.8540 gigawatt hours, Mon 3.2810 gigawatt hours, and Bui 5.9473 gigawatt hours. Here's what functional thermal power producers contributed to the generation mix within the period. The three hydro power plants produced 27.0823 gigawatt hours. Operational thermal power plants contributed 35.5175 gigawatt hours, and total solar generation was 0.2336 gigawatt hours. Total power generation was 62.8334 gigawatt hours in the last 24 hours. For hydrology, the water level in the Akosombo Lake was 82.418 meters below the maximum level of 84.73 meters, while the level in the Bui Dam was 179.190 meters below the maximum elevation of 183 meters in the last 24.
And that's it for the energy segment. I'm Dominic Honoji.
Good evening and welcome to the health segment of the news. My name is Mavis Ofe Champon. This segment is brought to you by Lufat. The Kolebu Teaching Hospital has taken delivery of new renal equipment. The hemodialysis machine are to augment the existing We apologize for that story. That story is about the Omicron that has been detected by the Noguchi Memorial Institute Research Center. Now, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has taken delivery of new renal equipment. The hemodialysis machine are to augment the existing 9 that serves over 250 patients from across the country. The modern hemodialysis equipment filters a patient's blood by passing it through a circuit outside the body and automatically extracts, purifies and re-injects the blood. The head of the renal center, Dr. Vincent Wema, advised the public to adopt healthy lifestyles as the youth are now developing late-stage kidney diseases. According to Dr. Wema, sub-Saharan Africa prevalence of the disease is around 14%. However, the figure in Ghana is between 13 to 17%, a situation he described as worrying. The board chairman of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital said the hospital has proposed that the NHIS observes the cost of dialysis to lessen the financial burden of patients with end-stage kidney failure. The CEO of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Opoku-Ariampoma, was grateful for the gesture. Donors of the hemodialysis First Sky Group promised to support the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to improve health care delivery. The health news was brought to you by Lufat, to being Coach Premier gift to Africa. We have more news after this break. Do stay.